Today I'm going to be discussing the 2024 horror film Night Swim. Just watched it. Pretty decent movie. This is a just typical modern horror type movie, paranormal themed horror movie, and basically centers around a haunted pool. Now, before I go any further, let me just say that this review will be containing spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie and don't want spoilers, I'd recommend watching the movie first. So this movie is generally about a haunted pool, and then we could dive a little deeper, and it's more than just a haunted pool. There is definitely haunting going on because there are spirits of those who have been killed in the pool before, inhabiting it at times. But it's more than that. This is not just simply a pool. The pool is connected to a natural spring underwater, which we learn throughout the plot of the movie is a form of wishing well and has that sort of magic. It serves the function of this. It gives one person who awakens it a wish, but it requires payment for this granting of this wish in the form of a life. So it can give something, but it takes something away. And in the start of the movie, we saw an example of that. We didn't know it at the time, but we saw a girl get lured to the pool and drowned. And it turned out her mother had sacrificed her to the pool, let her be drowned, so that her wish would be granted to save her son. And so in this movie, we have a new family move into this house, and the father is a former baseball player, and he is currently suffering from MS and is struggling with that. So first the pool heals his hand, and then after interacting with the pool and it reads his mind, it reads his wish. I don't think he actively wishes it in the movie, but he does want to get back to playing baseball again. He wants to not be suffering with this disability that is slowly progressing, and he wants to get back to the fame he once had, become a baseball player again. So that wish is slowly being granted by the pool, but the pool does require his payment. And the payment that it's trying to take and trying to get him to give is the son. Now, the son, not the daughter so much, because the son is a bit of a social outcast. So it is telling him that the son wouldn't survive in this world anyway, trying to justify it, and wants to lure the son in and take him in as the sacrifice for the payment for the wish granting. So, as a horror movie goes, this movie is okay. It's typical of your modern horror. It's not that exciting. There's not that much in the way of jump scares, a few little things here or there. It's kind of a slow paced build. The acting in the movie, I would say, is okay. More or less okay. Not excellent. The movie for me was a good watch, a good horror movie to enjoy one time for me, probably. It probably doesn't have a lot of rewatchability to it, and I don't see any possibility really for sequels with how it ends. Basically, we get to the end of the movie, and the pool does fail to claim the son thanks to the family's intervention, but it's not letting him go easily. And so the father, after being released from the spell of the pool, does sacrifice himself to the pool in order to allow the son to be freed and in order to keep his family safe. So in the end, he did a self-sacrifice move. And at the very end, we do see that the family's decided to stay in the house because they don't want anybody else to fall victim to what they've gone through so far. And they are going to fill in the pool with dirt. If you ask me, a better idea would be to fill this evil thing in with cement. One interesting part of the movie, when she goes looking for more information about the pool, she looks back in the history of the house, and there are multiple disappearances of people who have formerly at one time or another lived in this house or on this property. So she becomes curious. She goes and finds the previous owner, whose daughter died at the beginning, and that's when she reveals that she had purposely let her daughter be killed by the pool in order to save her son, who was sick at the time, so that he may go on and become successful. And that, for me, was really the only real part in the movie that I thought was maybe a little bit of an interesting twist and plot change. Because normally in these movies, you expect someone to go looking for someone like this who knows about what's going on in the house. And a lot of times, you get them just being like, oh no, you gotta get out of there, you shouldn't be there, that sort of thing. But in this case, this woman was very informative, knew what was going on, flat out told her and said, hey, you have to let it play out its cycle, you have to let the pool receive its sacrifice, and then it's going to go back to sleep. And she revealed that she had sacrificed her own daughter for her own purposes in this movie. So, very interesting plot point there, but overall, not the best story overall for a horror movie. It's something interesting. They try to do something different. It's something that hasn't been done before. I've seen horror movies that have hauntings, possessions, that sort of thing, and movies that have a pool involved, but this is the first one where the pool was like the main focal point. And that's like an interesting thing because we had to see points in the movie where the pool was trying to lure them in to get them close enough to be effective. Now, it did seem to have an ability to bring up this darker water that was sort of like a possessing factor, that it seemed like it could attack them from outside the water once that was inside the person's body, causing them to be unable to leave the property or get a distance from the pool. Otherwise, the other people had to wait till they were close enough to directly affect them. So, really, if you think about it in the scheme of things, a haunted pool is kind of easy to avoid. That's why, again, I don't see much of a chance for sequels here, and it probably shouldn't be because it would probably get pretty dumb pretty fast. But I think it's best that they just end this series here. Like I said, I don't see a lot of rewatchability, so this is probably just a one-time watch. But it was okay, fine to enjoy for that one-time watch. So if you look at the reviews, it wasn't received too well. I always look over at Rotten Tomatoes, and on the tomato meter, I look at the critic score. The critic score for this one was only 21%, and the audience score was a bit higher, 43%. Still pretty low. I always prefer the audience score. That's what matters to me more than any critic. And on IMDb, the movie currently has a 4.7 out of 10. My personal score for this movie would be about a 5.5 out of 10. Not great, not horrible. It's definitely watchable, but probably just like I said, that one-time watch. But for that, it's enjoyable to get through. It's not torturous. It's fine. So with that, please let me know your thoughts on this movie in the comment section below. And please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And please in the comment section below also let me know any other movies that you'd like to hear me review. Thank you.